So, Hari Om Namaste. यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तन्मदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्. Okay, so a small revision with the old last lesson. We had completed our dhatu 3 into 3 table with details, then upasargas, then we entered new block, second part, second unit of our syllabus with shabdas and shabdarupas. We have started with the prathama vibhakti. Okay, so we will go with each vibhakti as one separate lesson, and later we'll combine two vibhaktis. After that you will get a very good idea how these vibhaktis work in general in Sanskrit. So covering it, covering all the seven for the uh, one uh, one form of word like akaranta, say let's say, it will be very useful. So this so this will give us very good idea what a vibhakti is, what a pratyaya is, then how it is joining. Then we will be able to join the changed forms. Of course, these are not going to repeat everywhere. These are not going to be universal, but the principle will be universal. How we are joining will remain same. It won't change. Okay. So now that prathama vibhakti we have seen, and then sambodhana prathama also we have covered, where you call somebody. Okay, and it is almost like the prathama vibhakti only, and we have now pratyayas for ekavachana, dvivachana and bahuvachana. The three pratyayas each vibhakti will have. Okay, now we are entering into dvitiya vibhakti, and vibhaktis don't have names, they have only numbers. Prathama, dvitiya, tritiya, chaturthi, panchami, shashti, saptami. Panini gave only 7, and Sambodhana is included in Prathama. So we'll say 7 plus 1, because only one form is going to be different in Sambodhana. This is what we have done in the previous lesson. Now entering into Dvitiya Vibhakti. So what I usually do is, I don't give lot of Panini Sutras, but for keeping the interest sake and keeping the connectivity, I try to give one sutra this related. So it is Karmani Dvitiya is the sutra which is related to Dvitiya Vibhakti. Now let us see Dvitiya, what is a Dvitiya Vibhakti and how does it go? Like Dvitiya is for objective case in English. For the Prathama Vibhakti, it was nominative case, where we just name a thing, name a person, name particular place, just naming it. Okay, the subject of the sentence. It was just nominative case. Now we are going into objective case, the object of a sentence. For example, Rama killed Ravana. Okay, so Rama is the subject or the nominative case. Ravana is the objective case. Although in English we have objective case, but we don't have anything to mark it. So just the places will decide the uh, objectivity or objectness in that word. Okay. So for example, Rama killed Ravana. If we replace the places, then there will be a very big change in meaning. For example, the cat eats the rat. Okay, let's not do with that sentence. I don't want to manipulate it, because let Rama only kill Ravana. It's always the truth. It can't be reversed. It can't be otherwise. So cat kills rat or cat eats the rat. So if we replace the cat with rat, what happens? Rat starts to eat the cat, right? So rat cannot eat the cat unless it is dead. Okay. So this problem is very, very, very deep rooted, and it's very difficult situation in English where only the position can decide the case. But whereas in Sanskrit, we don't have that problem because it's more than position. We have the vibhakti included with the word itself. It's very closely and deeply connected with the word. In fact, very interesting thing in Sanskrit is the word is not a word until there is a pratyaya in the back of it. Some or the other pratyaya must be at the back of it. Otherwise, it's not a verb at all. It's not a word at all, sorry. Okay. So even when it is an avyaya, though we did not cover avyayas, let me tell you, for the padatva sadhana, I mean to make it into a word, to make it into a pada, we in fact add a pratyaya and remove it. Okay, technically, to make it a word, what Panini does, Panini suggests is, see, avyayas are not sups, suptingantam padam, that's the sutra, suptingantam padam. There should be either sup or thing at the end of anything to make it a word. Otherwise, it's not a word at all. That's the basic. But we'll say then are avyayas not words? But technically, by Pandini, they all get sup and that goes away. Okay? So avyaya dap supaha or something is there. I don't remember the sutra. So avyaya gets the sup and it is removed. By that it will become a pada. So avyaya will say, okay, now I am also a pada. Please consider me also into your group. Otherwise, it won't be a part of language at all. So alcha, tu, ha, all these iti, everything will become a pada. Okay, so that quality is a very important and a very beautiful and very disambiguity gaining. Okay, it gives us the disambiguity advantage in Sanskrit. Okay, because it's now we are no more confused. We are no more like we don't get any doubt. What is object here? Is the cat object or the rat object? Okay, who is eating whom? We don't have any such doubt. Okay, because the pratyaya that is along with the word. So that is the Dvitiya Vibhakti. So in the Dvitiya Vibhakti sense, it's the objective. So first we have done with the advantage. Now we'll go for the meaning. So what exactly is an objective case? Though we know it, let us a little bit study it. So object is something that enjoys the fruit of the verb. Okay. So in Sanskrit, I did tell you this in the beginning that verb is the most important. That's why we begin with verb, studying verb. So what is a sentence in Sanskrit? It is a verb. A verb is a complete sentence. For example, in English, you say going. Going is not a sentence in English. He is going, she is going. You need something. But in Sanskrit, gachati. Just now what we thought that pratyaya is along with the word itself. Okay, so gachati has a thing pratyaya and it is means he is going or she is going is there understood. Okay, so ti is an inherent part of gachati. So it also denotes a person and he is understood. Say gachati, somebody is going. Okay, that somebody we are not naming, but there is somebody. Though we say gachati, it's a complete sentence in itself. Okay, so the kriya is very important and it's very meaningful. Ansha, like we say Ramaha. Ramaha what? But you say gachati. Then gachati also got some questions like who is going and etc. Many questions it will where he is going and then how he is going, for what he is going. So all these things will follow. But in like in the case of object, what we will do is all the cases, like whatever cases we are going to study, it is going to happen with every case. For the object, we will pick the kriya. Like for any case, we will pick the kriya and we'll do one thing. Ask the question pertaining to that kriya. Okay, pertaining to that case. I'm sorry, pertaining to that case, which how it is related to kriya. So by this, we'll come to one more point that this vibhaktis are related to a concept called karaka. It's a concept called karaka, and which is it is related to kriya, very intimately related to kriya. In fact, all the karakas generate the kriya. Okay, they in fact they build the kriya. Okay, this is how it happens. Like for example, the king donates a cow to a Brahmin out of the cow shed, okay, at the river. Okay, the king donates a cow to a Brahmana. So here we have all the karakas, all the things that let me explain how. The king is the nominative case, he is the subject, so he is the karta, something called karta. We have told that it is related to karta. Then he gives a cow. So he donates what? Donates a cow. Okay, so the cow is the object of donation, right? And he where in the river, near the river. Okay, then at the river. I'm sorry. Then to whom? To a brahmana. Okay, so and from where? From the goshtha, from the cow shed. Okay, so he removes, he brings the cow from there and he gives to the brahmana. That is what the king is doing. Okay, for punya. What he is doing it for? He is doing it for punya. So these are all the karakas. This is how the things work. Okay, in the so now coming to what exactly is a karaka. This is an example. Okay, so what a karaka is Karaka is an idea which is related to the Kriya. It generates the Kriya, like the donate in this sentence. Okay, and they are very closely related. But it's just an idea. It's not an express. It doesn't have an expression for itself. What a Karaka does is it has an idea. It's a concept. It's just a concept, but it is represented by the vibhakti. It is what exactly is working and coming to our eyes, I mean, which is visible to our eyes, ears, and to our perception is the vibhakti. What we actually are saying when Ramaha Gachati, when we said Ramaha Gachati, the aha which you are hearing is a vibhakti, is a prathama vibhakti. It is representing the karta. You don't see the karta. Ramaha is not, the aha is not karta, but the aha is representing the karta. Aha is a vibhakti. Okay, so what you see is a vibhakti, what it means is a karaka. Okay, this is a very important point. We will not deal with karakas very deeply, but I thought my students must be in a good level, in a reach of the ideas very completely. That's why I tell all these details. So the vibhakti is just showing the idea of a karaka. It is representing, and the karaka remains hidden. Okay, but the vibhakti also has got something more than the karaka. It is not just the karaka that the vibhakti is representing, but the vibhakti has some other functions also to perform. For example, we will come to that in the Tritiya vibhakti. That there I will explain what extra vibhaktis do. That we will come later. Okay. So for now, Dvitiya vibhakti artha is an object. Object. Okay. How is an object object coming out? How do we know that in a sentence something is an object? So you will say directly, we will see the pratyaya, we will see the Dvitiya vibhakti pratyaya, we will say this is an object, that's all. But how to understand it? Okay, there is no Dvitiya vibhakti. Then how do you understand the concept of it? Okay, so you understand it by Kriyam Prachamaha Kim iti or Kam iti. So we will ask the Kriya. Okay, we will ask the verb what. Okay, I am seeing Rama in the picture. I am seeing Rama. Okay, so see is the Kriya. See is the verb in this sentence. So I ask, see what? I say Rama. See whom? Rama. I see a picture. See what? Picture. I hear a song. Hear what? Song. Okay, I pray to God. I pray God. Pray what or pray whom? God. Okay, I eat a fruit. Eat what? A fruit. So this is how the answers come. Okay, when you ask the Kriya what? Okay, so yeah. So this is asking what will answer. The answer whichever comes is the karma. It is the karma. And this karma gets a Dvitiya Vibhakti. That is how things work in Sanskrit. Okay. So you should first be very clear with the karma idea, because this is going to make a little fuss later. Okay, I will come to that fuss also, right? So this is how. Then the answer will come. The whatever answer comes is like it has got in English. We cannot explain, as I told you already. Cat eats the rat. Then eats what? Eats a rat. So rat is the answer. Okay, we don't have anything to mark it, though we have lot of markers in Indian language. Okay, so you can relate it to your Brazilian language, where object is marked. There in Japanese there is an object marker. They have an object marker ko and nu both, I think. Nu as far as I remember. Okay, nu or no something. Okay, no or ko something is there. Okay, so like that. If in Brazilian you have it, then you can relate it. Okay. Right. So this. Then yatha Skandaha Ganesham Pashyati. So we have a sentence here. Pashyati is he sees. Who sees? Skanda sees. Skanda sees whom? Ganesha. So that's why Skanda has Skandaha. Okay, that Visarga, as I told you, Ramaha. We had the Prathama Vibhakti, so Skandaha. You should be able to recognize it as the Prathama Vibhakti by now. And Ganesham Pashyati. You'll say, hey, Ganesha is Ganeshaha, right? Why are you saying Ganesham? So this Ganesham is the Dvitiya Vibhakti. Now you are saying it for the first time officially. Okay. So Ganesham Pashyati. Right? See what, see whom, then Ganesha. The Skanda is seeing Ganesha. Then Balaha Devau Namanti. Namanti. We'll pick the Kriya first. So Namanti, they are praying, they are doing the Namaskara. To whom? Devau. All the boys are doing the Namaskara to two Devas. Devau. Okay. So this is how. We'll come to that in detail just in a while. So in Sanskrit, how is the Vibhakti Pratyaya working? Now we have seen Ganesham Devo. So we'll see how it works. So just let us remember that our golden rule, that the Pratyaya is always attached based on the last Varna. The last Varna. We don't have anything to do with however the long the word is. Okay. Subramanya, Markandeya, whatever words you take. So all the Subrama, Na till there, Ya, till there we don't have anything. In the end we hear an A, okay, this is like Rama. Okay, then Markandeya, till there we don't have any word. Markandeya, A, okay, it's A, it's like Rama. So all the pratyas will be like Rama. That is how we are attaching the pratyas. Okay, so Aksharanta Nashritya. Then Akaranta Pullinga Rupani. Now we will come to like that previous Rama we had taken, same we will continue. So and we will try to attach the Pullinga Rupas. So like Aha, Au, Aha in the Prathama Vibhakti, we have Au, An in the Dvitiya Vibhakti. Okay, Au, An. Okay, so I remember we did not cover Napunsakalingas in the previous lesson. So we will cover in a little while. Okay, in a little while we'll cover that. Okay, so now let us try to attach the Dvitiya Vibhakti Pratyayas. How? The Supratyayas, as I told you, again repeating, the Paninian Pratyayas are the basic Vibhakti Pratyayas are there. Okay, so they are out, shas. Out, shas for Ekavachana, Dvivachana and Bahuvachana. And for the Akaranta Pullinga, it is going to be au, an. Okay, like Su, au, just, has, aha, au, aha. We will have out, shas. The Supratyas and the Vibhakti Pratyas for Akaranta are au, an. Only for Pullinga, Akaranta Pullinga. Okay, so this is the working. How it works is exactly like this. Deva plus devam. Deva plus au, devau. Deva plus an, devan. So what does it exactly mean is devam, one god, celestial god like Indradi Devata. Deva is Indradi Deva. So devam to that god, Deva to two gods, and Devan to many gods. Okay. So here we will stop this lesson and we will go back to the Napunsaka. Okay. Because otherwise we won't be able to follow this lesson and henceforth. So let us first do that. Okay. Let me. Right. So akarantaha napunsakalingaha trishu vachaneshu. So let me tell you one concept, like there is a pullinga which denotes okay, did I tell you this thing that linga in Sanskrit is not related to the meaning of the word? Huh? Did I tell you? Yes, yes, great. So these are only word related lingas. Okay, so the word has a linga and not its meaning. Okay, so now we are entering into a new concept, Napunsakalinga. So out of the three, we will have Pullinga and Napunsakalinga going side by side because all the pratyayas, all the 7 plus 1 pratyayas are going to be similar for both of them except the first two. Okay, except the first two. That's why let us do it, the Napunsakalinga now. So what is a Napunsakalinga? Napunsakalinga is usually the neuter gender. Okay, and how it works, it also has got the same set of pratyayas. I mean, not the same sounding, but like similarly, there are also three vachanas, three different pratyayas, okay, which will represent like an object is there, one object, two objects, and many objects like that. Okay, so how what kind of pratyayas are coming for Napunsakalinga? Let us see. So akaranta Napunsakalinga. Meanwhile, we are doing it also akaranta. It's not any other letter ending. Akaranta Napunsakalinga. And pratipadika plus supratyaya is equal to namapadam. That is how it is working. Pratipadika plus supratyaya. So the supratyaya won't change, but what is coming finally as a working pratyaya, that is going to change. Okay. So that is Prathama Vibhakti. It is for the su aujas, it is a ani. Okay. For the pullinga, it was aha au aha. For Napunsakalinga, it will be a ani. Okay, a ani or ani, sometimes ani also. Okay, so this and then phalam ale phalani. For example, if we take phala, how it is attached is phala plus phalam, phala plus a phale, phala plus ani phalani. And meanwhile, let me confess that we are not doing Sandhis and Sandhi lessons here. It's for the convenience of the students that I have used this principle. So please, the students should not ask me that phala plus is phalam, right? You are saying phalam. So it's not that, and phala plus a should be phalai, not phale. So it's not about that. It's about just a convenience, just a simple idea that we are going to add a at the end of phala to make it two fruits, like one fruit, two fruits, and many fruits. Okay, so this is how it is working. Then let us see some pratipadikas. So I have added meaning in Telugu and Hindi. So I'll tell you in English. Okay, so phalam is a fruit. Aranyam or vanam is a forest. Okay, then pustakam is a book. Patram is a leaf. Jalam and Toyam, both are water. Pushpam is a flower. So if you remember the should be removed. If you remove the from the end of the phalam, it will be phala. So this has been added as a prathama vibhakti. Okay, it is like denoting the karta, the subject in the sentence. Okay, so phalam. Aranyam, Vanam, Pustakam, Patram, Jalam, Toyam, Pushpam. Then Vastram. Vastram is cloth. Okay, what we wear is a cloth. Jnanam is a knowledge. Vyanjanam is some dish that we prepare. So in India, in the staple food that we eat, it is like one we call it one made with vegetable. Okay, pure vegetable we make. Then we remix it with pulses. That second variety, and then we make one liquid which will mix with the rice or rotis will be there, and then we make some chutney kind of chutneys like it's pasted vegetable, grinded vegetable sometimes, okay, made into that. So these 4 or 5 kinds of food we have. So all these can be called as vyanjanam. Okay, usually they make this vegetable as vyanjanam. So though vyanjanam can represent all the dishes in general, so it's the pure vegetable preparation that we call in English we call it curry. Okay, so that curry is the vyanjanam, or any dish can be vyanjanam. Okay, so that so vyanjanam, vyanjane, vyanjanani. Dish two, one dish, two dishes, and many dishes. Right. The Vatayanam is a like window. Netram and Nayanam is the eye. Okay. Kamalam Padmam is the lotus. And Trinam is grass. Okay. So this completes our Napunsakalinga introduction. So there is one interesting thing about this Napunsakalinga, that this takes what you call in the Prathama and Dvitiya Vibhakti, both it takes a similar pratyayas. That's very interesting part in a Napunsakalinga. What it does is it takes like phalam, like in the Ramau, Ramaha. For the Prathama Vibhakti, Ramam, Ramau, Raman for the Dvitiya Vibhakti. But in Napunsakalinga, it will be Phalam, Phale, Phalani, and again Phalam, Phale, Phalani. So now you see why you should be knowing the concept of an object. Now you see it, because a phalam can mean nominative and objective case both, or accusative, whatever you say, whatever word you prefer. So it denotes both nominative and accusative. That's why we must be very much aware that what role it is playing in the sentence, where the form is the same. Okay, if you observe, the Dvivachana has also got this. Okay, that will come to address that question also a little later. Okay, for now, that phalam Dvitiya Vibhakti is out, chas, the supratyas, it has a, ani. Okay, a, ani. What you see in the brackets is that a, ani. So, phala plus phalam, phala plus a, phale, phala plus ani, phalani. Okay, so devam, devau, devan, phalam, phale, phalani. So, this is how Pullinga works. This is how Napunsakalinga works. Okay. Now we will see the Vibhakti Pratyaya with meanings. Okay. So Rama plus is, we can't explain it in English because in Hindi and Telugu we have Pratyayas for separately marking the Vibhaktis. So I cannot explain in English at all. Maybe from the next Vibhakti I can explain. Then we have some prepositions for our rescue. But in so we can say two, but two can also mean the fourth Vibhakti. That's why it's a very confusing concept to say, I see two Rama. I can't say that I see Rama. That's only the expression, how it goes. Okay. So I can't explain it, but you can understand, I hope. Okay. Okay, then same with fruit also. So it exists in the three vachanas, one fruit, two fruits, and many fruits. Like I eat a fruit, I eat two fruits, I eat many fruits, like that. Okay. So phalam khadami, phale khadami, phalani khadami. So phalam khadami, one fruit I am eating. So it's an object of eating. Phale khadami, I am eating two fruits. So the two fruits are the subject of my eating. And I eat many fruits. Then many fruits are the subject. Then they will say, I will say phalani khadami. That is how it works. Okay. Now, so it is how the representation au, outshas, au an, devam, devo, devan, and outshas, e ani, or ani, phalam, phale, phalani. Okay. Right. So, so here comes the issues. Okay. So now we have seen that the pratyaya that we have seen. So if you observe again closely where I was showing, so you see here, you see here, you see one more place in the Prathama Vibhakti. Okay, the phalam phale phalani, the same this thing. So how will you resolve it? Is there any way? So what we are going to do? So there's an interesting thing. Phalam khadati. Okay. So imagine phalam khadati. Khadati is somebody is eating a phala. Okay. Khadati eats. Okay, eats. The phalam eats. The fruit eats. Is it not wrong? It is not wrong. It is not wrong by grammar. It is not wrong by the language. It is wrong by the prayoga. We don't have such prayoga that the fruit cannot eat. It is not fitting the worldly reality. The fruit cannot eat itself. Or a fruit eats another fruit. It is not possible. So it's always some karta who eats the fruit. It can be an animal, it can be a person, it can be a bird, or it can be a worm. Something must come and eat the fruit. Fruit cannot eat itself. So phalam khadati is a very interesting case where it can also mean the fruit eats, which is not possible. That's why we have to be very careful. This is what I was talking about. So akaranta napunsakalinga prathama vibhakti has got akaranta napunsakalinga dvitiya vibhakti has got akaranta pullinga dvitiya vibhakti has got so many like disparities, like many confusing cases we have. So how to resolve it? So here we can take phalam patati. So where the fruit falls, to pata is to fall, patati is he or she or it falls. So here we are saying phalam patati, the fruit is falling. Here phalam is the karta, the fruit is falling. Who is falling? The fruit. Okay, fruit is falling. So fruit itself is a karta. Then phalam khadati. In that case, somebody is eating the fruit. So fruit cannot eat. That's why. And I'm saying phalam pashyati. Why go till eating? Let us go till phalam pashyati. If the phalam were karta, yes, which is 100% possible, so the fruit sees. The fruit sees. The fruit listens. The fruit can enjoy. The fruit can dance. The fruit can do everything if it were a karta. Okay, but unfortunately, the fruit is always a karma in all these verbs, wherever the karma is there. Why it is a karta in patati? Because patati has no karma. Okay, that's why it is possible with patati that phalam can become a karta. But in all other places where the karma is there, it is going to be a karma only, Dvitiya Vibhakti only. Okay. Then the second case, the Dvitiya Vibhakti against Dvitiya Vibhakti of the Linga case. Now this was only Napunsaka Linga internal problem of the Prathama and Dvitiya Vibhakti. Now this is external problem with Linga, Pullinga and Napunsaka Linga, Dvitiya Vibhakti. Let us see how it goes. Phalam khadati. So here somebody is eating the fruit and then Ramam pashyati. Okay, phalam pashyati, ramam pashyati. Let us go that way. So somebody is looking at the fruit, somebody is looking at Rama. Now, how will you know that Rama is Pullinga and Phala is Napunsakalinga? Isn't it? There is nothing to mark it. Ramam is also Phalam is also If I mention some word in the just casually I say vastram pashyami, and you don't know what linga the vastram is. Pashyami, you know, I am seeing a cloth, but what is that cloth? It is a napunsakalinga or a pullinga? We don't know. We don't know. So it's a very big issue in Sanskrit, okay, for the beginners. But luckily, there are things to rescue us, okay. So how to find out? And then there is one more case where I told you that the Prathama Vibhakti and Dvitiya Vibhakti Dvivachana. Okay, in the Dvivachana, there is an issue. For the Prathama Ekavachana, these were the issues for the Pratyaya. Now for the Au Pratyaya, Au and A both. Okay, Au and A. Phalam phale phalani, phalam phale phalani. Isn't it? So there is going to be a disparity in this also. Okay, so Devau, let's say Devau, then Devau is Devau Namata. Let us say Devau Namataha. It's a very like elusive. Devau Namataha. can mean that the two celestial gods are doing namaskara, and also somebody is doing namaskara. Some two people are doing namaskara to two gods. Okay, some two people like wife and husband went to a temple and they are doing namaskara to two gods. Like say the Krishna and Radha Pratima is there, so there are two gods, or there are Rama and Sita. No, when Rama is there, it's a very big parivara. He is with many people. So two gods are there. Then we say Devau Namataha. The wife and husband are doing namaskara to two gods. Okay, so we don't exactly know if the two gods are doing the namaskara or they are receiving the namaskara from other two people. Devau namataha. It's a very interesting case. So how will we resolve it? How will we exactly deal with such cases? So for resolving the first case, like in between Prathama and Dvitiya Vibhakti, then we will ask the Kriya Kimiti. Simple. If it's a case between Prathama and Dvitiya, it will be easily solved. Like we can ask the Kriya what. Okay. So I eat a fruit. I see a fruit. I see Rama. Both like I see Rama. Sorry. No, sorry. No, no. The fruit eats and I eat a fruit. The fruit eats and he eats a fruit. Halam khadati. Halam khadati. So both. So there we ask khadati. Khadati kim phalam. So phalam is in Dvitiya Vibhakti and not in Prathama. And the second Lokanubhava, as we discussed already, phalam cannot eat itself. So phalam cannot be a karta. That is why it is Lokanubhava, our worldly knowledge tells us. And the third is there is another very beautiful concept that we will come to know in some after some 7 to 8 lessons later. It is called Visheshana. And after some 10 to 15 lessons later, we'll come to Sarvanamas. Okay, so in all these lessons, we will learn that yes, there are some clues for making out the linga. Where the udaharana 2, the second case I told you, between the linga. Okay, so there these things come to our rescue. Other Visheshana padas, other Sarvanama padas, or the Sankhya Vachakas, they are also considered one among the Visheshanas. Okay, so in these cases, we are going to have some clues in the sentence where we can make out. Luckily, okay. So these are the thing. And Linga Nirnaya Koshaha. There is one like now this is all online world. So we have lot of online material. So one of them is dictionaries. You can just pick the Shabda Kalpadruma, a beautiful dictionary. It has also got a mobile app. So if you just type in Devanagari Shabda Kalpadruma, one beautiful tree picture and that brown colored thing will come and it will be Shabda Kalpadruma app. And in that you can just install, just type the word and it will give you, it's like just beside the word it gives Pum, Stri, Kli, etc. The Kli for Kliba and Pum for Pullinga, Stri for Strilinga. And if Sakaranta then gives in square brackets, it gives like Jakaranta and all that it gives. Okay, so that by that we can get the Linga Nirnaya. Okay, this is doing the Linga Koshaha. Then again the Sandarbhas, the contextual factors like Visheshanas and Sankhya Vachas and Sarvanamas, all these. Okay, then. So there is one more concept that I have to introduce to you. It is karma katva. So the karma, having the karma, we have something called the verbs. Look, okay, in English we can use the verb transitive verb and intransitive verb. Okay, so if we take the flying thing, like my father taught this, I really fondly remember him. He had like taught it wonderfully. He said the bird flies. The bird flies. Okay, so the bird flies. Flies what? There's no answer, right? The boy flies a kite. The boy flies a kite. Flies what? A kite. Right. So the boy is flying a kite where the kite is the object. But the bird is flying or the aeroplane is flying. Then we don't have, it is flying nothing. It is flying by itself. So there is no reply to that. So where we ask the verb a question, what, and no answer comes, that's an intransitive verb. Okay, in the same way, it's akarmakaha, where there is no karma. Like, for example, sleeping, he sleeps. Sleeps what? Nothing. He just sleeps. That's all. That's all. Okay. So some people reply on the couch. I said it should not be on the couch. So okay, it's not on the couch. He sleeps and the couch becomes a karma. No, the couch is not karma. Okay, the sleep is inside the boy, and that is like. It's not it cannot be a transitive verb like sleeping, then what else, falling, like we have seen patati, that fruit falls what, nothing, it doesn't fall anything else, it just falls down, right? Okay. Like this. And eat, sing, listen, all these things will have a object for sure. Okay, these verbs will have objects, so they are going to be sakarmaka always. Then the sakarmaka is again of two kinds, ekakarmaka and dvikarmaka. Okay, so ekakarmaka, we don't mention it separately, we call them only sakarmakas only. If we say if we say sakarmaka, we are bound to mean that it is ekakarmaka. But when it is dvikarmaka, we say very specially it's dvikarmaka. As the name suggests, as the name suggests, Dvikarmaka has two karmas. Okay, two karmas. Let us see how this goes. Okay, so karma is not there. It is akarmaka. Patrani patanti janau tishthataha. So two people are standing. Standing what? Nothing. They are just standing. Okay. Then vriksham pashyataha. They are seeing the tree. Seeing what? Tree. Okay. So there is an answer. This is karma. Now, where there are two karmas, I will tell you an example for that. So acharyam sandeham pruchhati shishyaha. Okay, the shishya, the disciple, is asking his teacher a doubt. So we now pick the sincerely, we pick the verb and ask what? Verb is ask. The shishya asks what? A doubt. Asks whom? It is also valid question for karma as we discussed in the beginning. Asks whom? The teacher. So there are two karmas here. Okay, there are certain dhatus that are identified in Sanskrit literature. Okay, so those are duhyaj pach dan rudhi prachichi brusha suji mathamusham karmayuk syada kathitam tatha syat nihru krishavaham is the like Arya Chandas, I think. Duhyaj pach dand rudhi prachichi brusha suji mathamusham कर्मयुग स्याद कथितम तथा स्याद निहृकृषवहाम, something is like this, it goes like that. So it's an arya, this one. So these are the dhatus that are coming out of that. Okay, but these dhatus belong to many ganas which we cannot touch right now. So I'm interested to tell the concept of a dvikarmaka and not touch all the dhatus that are involved in it. We can cover two dhatus, prichhati and yachati. Okay, yachati also. Or yachat, no, yach also we cannot ask. Yach, pachati. Okay. So, tandulam pachati, annam, tandulam pachati, pachi, so I don't remember any sentence right now. Okay. And all the meaning also. So the, okay, vadati, we can take vadati, I think. Shishyam dharmam vadati acharyah. Okay, so acharyam sandeham pruchhati shishyah, shishyam dharmam vadati acharyah. Acharya is telling dharma to shishya, so vadati, he tells what? Tells dharma, tells whom? Tells shishya. Okay, so to ask is another beautiful place where there are dvikarmaka. The verb is dvikarmaka. Okay, so this is how dvikarmaka, this is there. And now we will see some small, if our time permits, yes, we can go ahead. So there are small, this is not related to the vibhakti anymore. So we have completed vibhakti lesson there. So we have covered the akaranta pullinga, the akaranta napunsakalinga, the sakarmaka, akarmaka, dvikarmaka. Okay, all this we have covered. A small writing niyama I just wanted to tell here, like Ramam Pashyati, the writing of Anuswara and Makara. Many people interchange them both, but it is not proper to do so. The ma should be written before a swara, before an ach varna, and anuswara should be there before a al varna or a consonant. Okay, so before the vowel it will be makara, before a consonant it will be anuswara. Okay, so and it will change into like the sometimes the two words can be intermixed, like a sandhi, they can be joined. But like Ramam Pashyati, we can also write as Ramam Pashyati, where you see this makara has changed, the anuswara has changed into makara. Trinam Charati, we can write this way also and we can write this way also. There is an alternate way of writing. Okay, so and before the ya, va, la, this anuswara changes into anuswara of that akshara, that letter, like it will become like the ra, ya, va, la will become this anuswara purvaka. Okay, so this rule I'm not very sure if I'm saying it correctly, that's why I want to drop it. I don't want to fully explain, but there is something related to it. I just want you to when we say the Vishnu Sahasranama, we say like paramam yo mahattejaha, there we say paramayyo mahattejaha, like that. So paramayyo, so that exactly this rule is happening there, but I'm not very sure of the grammatical basis of this. That's why I just tell and stop it here. Okay, so this is how we have done. So we'll quickly revise it since the beginning. Okay, so whatever we have done. So we have discussed the Dvitiya Vibhakti meaning, what an object is, how it is there in English, difference between English Vyavastha and Sanskrit Vyavastha. Then we have done the Karma Parikshanam, how to find out the object by asking the question, what? Okay, then we have seen the Vibhakti Pratyayas, that which we add at the end of the word, end of the base, to bring out the meaning that we want. So akaranta pullinga rupas are au an, and akaranta napunsakalingas are e ani. Okay, and after this, starting from Tritiya Vibhakti, the napunsakalinga and pullinga are going to be same. In the napunsakalinga, it is like Prathama Vibhakti and Dvitiya Vibhakti are same, one and the same forms. Phalam phale phalani, phalam phale phalan. E ani, e ani. And from next on, it will be like same like pullinga. We need not even separately learn it. Okay, so for now, the pullinga pratyayas for Dvitiya Vibhakti are devam, devau, devan, like au, an, and for the napunsakalinga, it is e, ani, the Dvitiya Vibhakti. Okay, it means one to one word, like I see a tree, see what? A tree, to a tree kind of in English. Okay, so that is the idea. So it applies to both pullinga and napunsakalinga. So this is how the pratyayas look. We have seen about it. And then there is a like clash, there is a ambiguity which is coming out because of the usage of same pratyaya for both prathama dvitiya vibhakti in the napunsakalinga and dvitiya vibhakti in napunsakalinga and pullinga. So there is bound to be some confusion, and then the both au and a pratyayas in the akaranta pullinga and akaranta napunsakalinga, which is going to be a very big problem. Okay, so how to solve that problem that we have discussed by the by three resolutions in Vibhakti Nirnaya, like where it is a Dvitiya Vibhakti or Prathama Vibhakti, then we will ask the Kriya Kim, then we will get the answer. And by the Loka Anubhava, the fruit cannot eat itself. Phalam khadati, the fruit can never be a karta. So by that Loka Anubhava, we can know that okay, fruit is in, like the phalam is in Dvitiya Vibhakti only. Then Sandarbhansha, there are other helping contextual clues, are there contextual clues, so which we are going to study in the future. Then we learned the Karmakatvam, Akarmaka, Sakarmaka, Dvikarmaka. Okay, so here I just wanted you to do one abhyasa. Balaha Nagaram Vrajati. The boy goes to the city. Okay, Balau Nagaram Vrajataha. Two boys go to a city. Balaha Nagaram Vrajanti. Many boys go to a city. Now we are changing Nagara here. Okay, the same pattern. Balaha Nagare Vrajati. The boy goes to 2 cities. Now the objectioner says, hey, 2 cities, how can one boy go? Then I'll say, did I say he's going in one moment? No, he's going to cities in different time. Like he has started from home to reach 2 cities. Like first he'll go to Delhi, then he'll go to Bombay. Then, okay. So Balaha Nagare Vrajati. Balau Nagare Vrajataha. Like 2 boys are going to 2 cities. Balaha Nagare Vrajanti. Many boys are going to 2 cities. Okay. Then as a part of excursion, like the children are taken to many places to go. So that's why. Then Balaha Nagarani Vrajati. One boy goes to many cities. Then Balau Nagarani Vrajataha. 2 boys go to many cities. Balaha Nagarani Vrajanti. Many boys go to many cities. So we can play like this. We can take one sentence and if possible, if you have time, then you can work out one sentence like this. All these 9 combinations, 9 outputs I will need. Okay. So for a practice, if you feel like you do, otherwise it's okay. Like the homework, you can take, for example, Ramaha phalam khadati. Rama eats a fruit. Or Balaha Devam Namati. Or the boy worships or does namaskara to the god. Okay. Like Balaha Devam Namati. You can make this kind of changing, like you understand it, right? So the verb changes along with the subject. Okay. Then Nagaram Nagare Nagarani, or whatever the object is there, the object is going to change its forms. First 3, second 3, third 3, like that it will be. So this pattern you can remember and you can try to send it to you. You can see and write as well. Okay. So any doubts so far? No doubts. Fine, then we'll stop it. Okay, we'll do the prarthana and stop. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः सोमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वं श्रीरामार्पणमस्तु